Hi, I'm Darren Walker. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Softball, I sit down with head coach Gerry Glasco to recap the 2019 season, highlighted by his 4 seniors and the impact they made on the program. Later, we introduce you to UL's record leader in stolen bases, Keeley Milligan, and meet track stars and sisters, Shelley and Keeley Matthews. But first, we revisit Oxford, Mississippi, and the Ragin Cajuns fight in the NCAA Regionals. You're watching Inside Louisiana Softball. Welcome to Inside Louisiana Softball. Darren Walker, joined as always by the head coach Gerry Glasco. Coach, the season has come to an end, but the NCAA Regionals were truly exciting. Just talk about the tournament as a whole for you guys.
Yeah, it was exciting. It just didn't end the way we wanted it to end, and now you come home and you reflect on it. And it's hard to take. It takes a couple of days to get used to the outcome and accept the outcome. But I was proud of our kids. They played well. They fought hard. They played an outstanding game against SEMO. They played an outstanding game against Ole Miss in Game 1 and Game 3. Game 2 against Ole Miss, we could have played better, but I thought they played well, and I loved how they fought back in Game 3 and give us a chance to win the game. We were in a good position, and it got away from us. But overall, I was really proud of our kids, proud of the way they played and fought all during the regional.
Let's get specific now. Game 1, you're playing SEMO, and the Red Hawks, it was back and forth affair. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but 2 of your really clutch players all season long came through for you. Alyssa had a 2 RBI shot that tied the game, and then in the 6th inning with the game tied again, Lexi came up and got you a big base hit, and that wound up being the difference in the game. Yeah,
Lexi had a real clutch senior moment right there. Dalton had a 2-out, 2 RBI single earlier in the game, and those 2 kids have just been great for us all year. And of course, Summer pitched a really good game as well.
Yeah, Summer gave up a couple of runs, but never gave up a big inning and wound up striking out 13 in the game. In Game 2, the winner's bracket game, you're faced with the number 11 seed Ole Miss, the home team. Summer was brilliant again. She pitches a 3-hit shutout to put you in the regional championship.
Yeah, Summer was just amazing. I mean, I think she ended the year with 39 wins, and it's just been it's an All-American season. She's going to end up on an All-American team, and it's just a question of which one. And she just really accomplished a lot of things for our program. It was great to see her have a really good, solid regional over there.
On the flip side, you guys had 3 hits as well, but on the base paths, you were able to apply some pressure to the Ole Miss defense, and they wound up making that critical mistake, and you get 2 runs out of it.
Yeah, it was a game where both pitchers were really dominant, and so you had to figure out a way to create some kind of an offense. And the biggest mistake was going to, the team that made the biggest mistake was going to lose. And that's the way the game felt, and that's the way it turned out.
Game 3, now you're playing on Sunday again, and the Rebels get a solo home run to take the lead, and then a throwing error allowed them to score another one. You really didn't waste much time at that point taking Summer out of the game. So just talk about that decision.
Well, I'd made up my mind if we got behind early, then we'd just get Summer out and start Game 3 with her fresh. If it would have been the 6th inning, then I might have handled it different. But that was my pregame strategy, that if we got behind, then we'd pull her. But I wanted to keep the game, and I wanted to keep Jacobson in the game. I wanted to make her work, and I was proud of our bullpen. They come in, and once we got out of the big inning, when they scored 5, they really settled in, especially Kendra Lamb. She come in and really did a great job. Allison Deville did a good job holding them, settling them in, but then that was a good way for Kendra Lamb to finish her freshman campaign with a really good, strong shutout performance against a top 10 team, top 15 team.
You made it interesting late, too. It was 5-1 in the 6th inning, and you loaded the bases, and you had Courtney at the plate. And I'm telling you, she hits a rocket, and if that girl is just a couple inches shorter, or if that ball's hit a couple inches higher, you got yourself a game now.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been, if that ball goes in, it's in the gap. And so we're at least 5-3, and they made the play. And you have to tip your hat to Ole Miss. I mean, they made that play at shortstop. They made the great catch at center field in Game 3.
Right. Game 4, we move to the Rebels jump out to a 2-0 lead, and as you just mentioned, Rawls hits that shot to center field, and boy, what a huge play that was in the game, because it was potentially a tying shot right there. 2-2 would have been the score, but she goes over that fence and makes the catch, and it was a huge play.
Yeah, it was a huge play, and it was a game-changing play, and it was a play that when you make it, you're playing at championship level. And to me, as soon as she made that play, it validated that they were a super regional team, and we were going to have to overcome it. And we came close, but we didn't get the job done.
Another pivotal moment in the game is in the third inning when Alyssa Dalton appears to turn an unassisted double play. It was a phenomenal play. The second base umpire made the call immediately that she was out, but then consults with the other two umpires, and they wound up changing that call. So what was the explanation there?
The second base umpire, we've got 4 umpires, the second base umpire said that she was out, and the first base umpire overruled her and said that she had came off the bag to catch the ball at second. And he overruled the call, and when you watch the film, it turned out that was the incorrect call. He overturned it incorrectly, and of course we were also, the first inning we had a really big play at third base. We're off the field with a 1-0, where the game's 1-0. We threw out the runner at third, and the umpire called her out. Then he called her safe. Then he called obstruction, and that obstruction call was an extremely costly call for us. That made it a 2-0 game. So at this point it could be 1-0. Instead we're 3-0, and that hurts and made it a little bit tougher game for us to come out on top of.
Right. Some tough pills to swallow along the way. But Raina O'Neal does come in later on in the 5th inning. She hits an absolute bomb to tie the game, and boy, the excitement that poured out of that dugout was unbelievable. Yeah,
at that point, you had a lot of relief because you've at least tied it up 3-3. And it was just a huge hit. Her to go oppo, and then her to get the big hit off Jacobson. That was huge too, because we'd struggled with Jacobson, and it gave our dugout confidence that they had made the adjustments we need to make, and then we seemed to hit her better from that point forward.
Unfortunately, in the bottom of the 7th, you guys had already taken the lead at this point, but Ole Miss gets a couple of base hits to start the inning. Then they lay down the sack bunt, and then at that point, with the game tied, you really needed a hard ground ball that you could make a play at the plate, but the ball that got hit just wasn't hit hard enough.
Yeah, we had the number 9 hole. We had 9-1-2, and we had the 9-hole batter, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and we had to finish that, and we didn't. We had given up a double in the gap, and then their leadoff hitter Becker, we just, we had 3 games, we just couldn't figure out a way to get her out, and she found her way on again. She hit a real slow roller that, nobody attacked that ground ball. We could have got her out at first, but we just kind of let it lay there, and we weren't aggressive on the play. And so then they were set up, and I think they squeezed at that point and got a run. Then they bunted and held the runner, and we get up bases loaded again, and then they got the hit that won the game.
Thanks, Coach, for joining us for this segment. He'll be back later on to kind of recap the 2019 season and talk about his seniors. But coming up next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we'll talk to Keeley Milligan.
Intact, together, this, F, time, 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 intact, together, this, F, time.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team. The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come through us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
Welcome back. Time now to meet the Ragin Cajuns single-season stolen base leader, Keeley Milligan.
Hi, my name is Keeley Milligan, and I'm a senior on the Louisiana Softball team. Deciding to transfer in my senior year, of course, was tough. It's a hard decision for anybody that decides to transfer, no matter if it's their senior year, after their freshman year, to transfer. But, and you know, I never knew, I didn't understand whether it was going to be the right decision or not until season started and I got here. But once I got here, I quickly found out that it was the right decision. I'm really happy with what I decided. Playing at Louisiana means to me a lot of tradition, a lot more tradition than people realize. Coming from A&M, obviously they pride themselves on their traditions, things like that, but Louisiana has a lot in itself, and a big part of that is the alumni. Every game you come here, there's going to be at least probably 20 to 15 alumni waiting for you in the stands and want to talk to you after the game, so that's a really big deal. Louisiana has always been a team that's never backed down from big competition. You know, they're not a team that's going to play a big SEC team and then get scared and not play tough. They're going to play you tougher. And I've always been that type of player that's wanted to play tough, and I decided to come to a program that's known for that. Playing for Coach Glasco in 2 different locations just means that I'm playing for a really good coach in 2 different locations. I mean, he's one of the best hitting coaches in the country, and I've always been somebody who prides myself on my hitting. So being able to follow him from A&M to Louisiana is something that not a lot of other people would have been able to do, and I'm really happy with my decision. Holding 2 records at 2 different schools is something that I've always, holding 2 different records at 2 different schools isn't something I expected of myself, but having a stolen base record wherever I ended up is something I expected of myself. I've always been somebody who's prided myself on my speed and my ability to steal bases and put myself in scoring position for my team and get them RBIs. So doing that at 2 different places just means that I'm doing my job. Stealing so many bases, honestly, isn't the hard part. What's hard about stealing bases is getting on base. You can't steal any bases unless you get on base, and that's what I tell everybody. So, I mean, I think there's a lot more moving parts that have to go right for them when someone takes a bag than it has to go right for you. You just have to get a good jump and run hard and get a good slide in the bag. They have to get a good pitch, have to make a good transfer, they have to make a good throw, the defense has to catch it. There's a lot more things that have to go right for them than it does for you. So stealing bags has never really been a big part of my game that I've worried about, because I know that I have the ability to steal a base on anyone. It's getting on base that's the tough part.
Next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we meet track stars Shelley and Shelley Matthews.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come through us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajuns spirit goes beyond athletics.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Welcome back. Time now to meet track stars Shelley and Keeley Matthews.
Hi, I'm Shelley Matthews.
My name is Keeley Matthews,
and we're seniors on the Louisiana track team. The bond with my sister, we're very close. There's actually 3 of us, we're triplets, but Keeley and I are closer because we both do track and we've always done sports together. But we're close and that's my best friend.
The bond between my sister and I are really strong. We are triplets, so we've been together our entire lives, but Shelley and I are a lot closer than Haley and I, but that's why we're at the same school now.
What got us into track was we grew up in a private school that was kindergarten through 8th grade, and then there was only track and basketball there, so we did both those sports. And then when we got to middle school, we still continued basketball, but we mainly focused on track. And then as we got better at track, we realized we're actually kind of good.
The decision for me and my sister to split up, we knew that we had to after community college because we were both getting different offers. And we did try to go to the same school, but the schools that we were interested in was only interested in one of us and not the other. So it was kind of hard, but we knew that we had to split ways.
So the one year that we did split, we talked on FaceTime every day. The University of Kansas actually went to Arizona State, so we did have a meet there outdoor, so I did see her. Other than that, we didn't really see each other besides on breaks. But, I mean, it was hard, but like I said, we FaceTimed every day, so that made it better. And then when we both decided to transfer, we said it would be best if we transfer together.
Being back together again is really big. We're both happy that we're together again, and ever since being together again, we've actually both been a lot happier where we are.
The importance to be on the same team as my sister again, it was pretty high. When we were looking for a school, that was the main goal, was to go together. So we also needed to look into both the coaches wanting us, and basically like scholarship-wise, teammate-wise. So when we were looking, that was our main goal, was to be back together.
Being back together again has made us both happier. We're both, I would say, a little more successful where we are in school. Just the fact that we always have somebody to go home and talk to and someone who's to always be around has made us better and happier.
When I won conference, I didn't act super excited because I was just kind of surprised because I PR'd by a lot. So when I won conference, I knew I had won conference and I smiled. Then I just walked off and I went to go get my medal. But I was really happy because I knew that I could win. So it was nice to have my sister to share it with me. She did well in the conference too. So for her to be there when I won made the experience better.
Seeing her on the podium, I mean, I was really happy for her. Obviously, it would have been nice to be up there with her, but we do 2 separate events. But I was honestly really happy for her and really excited for her.
We don't go anywhere without each other. We don't share the same classes, and I'm sure people think that we're the same person when walking around. But when they do see us, we're always together. We go to games together. We go to events together. So I mean, I think people know that we're best friends. So basically, when you talk to one, you're gonna hang out with both of us. So.
Knowing that my sister and I will not be together forever, I'm really thankful that UL gave us the opportunity to finish out our college and track career together, because them doing that has made us a lot happier and a lot more successful on the track.
Next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we're joined by Gerry Glasco to recap the 2019 season.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come to us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Intact, together, discipline, F, time, 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 intact, together, discipline, F, time.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball, and it is the final Inside Louisiana Softball of the season. Coach Glasco joining us once again. We talked about putting a bow on the season earlier in the first segment. Kind of wanted to spend some time now talking about 4 young ladies who were just so important to what you guys accomplished this year. Starting off with your first senior, really helped you down the stretch in a closer type role, and that's of course Allison Deville. One of the most liked players on the team.
Yeah, well, Allison, it was great to see her get out there and really shut the door yesterday and help get the tide turning in game 2. And so it was great to see her on the field as a 5th-year senior, but her value to our program has been her leadership off the field and off the, in the dugout, in the clubhouse, and just her attitude every day in practice and the work habit that she brings.
Your second senior only spent 1 year with the team, but what a year it was. She is holds the school record for stolen bases in a season. That, of course, is Keeley Milligan.
Yeah, Keeley was a great addition to our ball club because she brings she's a tenacious competitor. Her speed was invaluable. She's a constant pressure on the other team, and she played some great defense for us out in right field this year, too.
Third senior, a career .317 hitter. She started 225 games at third base. Unmatched work ethic for your team. That, of course, Kara Grimion.
Yeah, I've never coached a player I like coaching more than Kara. I think she probably is the best defensive third baseman in the country this year. The defense she played at third base is spectacular, and it's going to be impossible to replace her defense over at third base, and then of course offensively you can put her in the leadoff spot, you put her in a 2-hole, you put her anywhere you want to put her, and she just puts so much pressure on another team with her ability to make contact with a bat, to lay down unbelievable bunts. She's one of the best right-handed bunters I've ever seen. She's going to be a player that's going to be really hard to replace for us, and a true representative of what a Ragin Cajun should be.
Yeah, some big shoes to fill there. And last but not least, a career .320 hitter, a true leader on your team, very unselfish person, team first, that of course, Lexi Como.
Yeah, Lexi's just been a great teammate here for the last 2 seasons that I've been here, and provided us leadership, provided us hitting, provided us RBIs, just so many things she brought to our ball club and to our dugout. And that's a 4-person class that, you know, I don't know how you could ever have a better senior class than those 4 kids.
Shed some light on what the team huddle was like after the game. If you can, just reflect on some of the things that you talked to the girls about after the game was over yesterday.
Yeah, well, you know, after that game, everybody was kind of in shock. You know, you've come into the day, you've won 29 games in a row, and you know you've got to win 1 out of 2, and nobody thought about the losing. You were prepared to win, you're prepared to move on, but you wasn't prepared for the season to be over. So the huddle was hard. It was you know, nobody had the right words, nobody had the right thoughts. And, you know, we just talked about how special this senior class is, how bad we hated to see it end, but it did. And, you know, how appreciative we are to have had each other. It's been a special season as far as the chemistry and the clubhouse. And so we all know that, and we all, you know, we expressed how much we appreciated that 4 months that we got to spend together in this season.
The Cajuns finished the season 52-6 on the year. They did things that no other Ragin Cajuns team had ever done. And when we come back on Louisiana Softball, we'll show you some of those 2019 achievements.
The residence halls are very new, very clean, very nice. A lot of people get suite style rooms, which are 2-person to 1 room, and some nice perks to the residence halls are free laundry, and they even have an app, so it'll tell you when your laundry is ready, so that's sweet. They have weekly housekeeping, so you don't have to worry about your bathroom.
There's such a variety of food options on and off campus. You can get anything from Chick-fil-A and Pizza Hut to crawfish etouffee and jambalaya. The meal plan is actually included in your room, so you're never going hungry when you live on campus. When there's something going on campus, you never have to worry about how you're going to get there because you're literally steps away. You can just walk. If I pull a late night studying or writing a paper, I can take those few extra minutes to sleep in because my class is 10 minutes away.
We have an amazing opportunity for our first-year students where they can live in the residence halls and be a part of a living learning community. So these are small communities where students can make friends very quickly with other students that they have a lot in common with. For example, students who like the arts, they can live in Gateway to the Arts, and then they take classes together.
Building relationships has been just as easy as inviting people to go out to eat in the dining hall or inviting someone to study together in the library or the community room.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come through us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajun spirit goes beyond athletics.
Thank you so much for watching Inside Louisiana Softball this season. We'll see you in 2020 as the Ragin Cajuns gear up for the road to the championship.